What up, squad? What's poppin'? Is you ready for another reaction video? Alright, so peep it up next. The game goes off after Kendrick Lamar named Best LA Rapper of All Time by Complex. Damn. Damn.
Not
Now,
surprised.
we know this. We all know this. Every time these top 10s or any list comes out, somebody gets upset.
Yes.
Nobody's ever happy with the list.
True.
It's subjective. Nobody's happy with the list. Now this says top LA rappers of all time.
All time.
Of all time. And I feel like when you put something of all time, I really feel like you just need somebody that knows all the generations. You know, somebody in the middle, somewhere in the middle. And like I said, how many people are actually really judging this list?
Mm-hmm.
You might have some nerd that don't know nothing about hip hop, but he's, you know what I'm saying? He might be with the newer generation, so he's gonna put that up there.
Yeah.
Or you might have some old head that's just like vibey to the old generation, like doesn't want nothing to change. Everything is fine the way it is.
Yes.
Scared of change.
Yes.
That used to be me at one point. I feel like these type of lists should be more voted on than anything. But like I said, ain't nobody gonna be happy. If you're new to the channel, don't be. Yeah, okay. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up, slap that red button. Let's go.
Let go.
That's my goof up. I'm allowed one for the day.
Yeah.
Shit too, bro. Complex is back at it once again, you guys. Can we have somebody actually go into Complex building just to investigate to make sure these guys are not bots? Every single year, these guys drop one of these bullshit lists just to go viral.
Damn,
we have to
Jesus,
start
man.
publicly shaming some of these journalists. These guys come up with a list every single year just to get people angry and rage bait. I promise you guys, I was actually going to ignore this list. I'm only covering this list just because the game responded to it. A bunch of people
50.
came together in Complex office and said, hey, why don't we do a list of LA rappers of all time? I think that would be great. And we could base the list off of skills as a hip hop artist, strength of catalog, and commercial impact and lasting influence. Now,
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me go back to
I
that
think
again.
that would be
All right, it says, meanwhile, rappers like Exhibit, Corrupt, and Lady of Rage all made their names in LA rap scene despite the fact they didn't grow up in the city. So spoiler alert, they are on the list. On this list. They are on this list. Okay. Hey, if they part of the city, they part of the city. It doesn't matter. If that's where they got their rap career, hey, I'm for it. We stuck to 3 principles when sorting our ranking. Skills as a hip-hop artist, strength of catalog, commercial impact, and lasting influence. By skill, we mean the entire rap package, delivery, everything. Okay, so that's what they mean by skill. So when they mean skill, you have to be, well, number one, you have to write your own shit. I would say that's included. So if there's anybody on this list that don't write their own stuff, I don't think we should put them on there. I'm just saying, before we get going, I just want to say that because they do this a lot and they put people that don't write their own stuff. All right, let's keep it moving.
great. And we could base the list off of skills as a hip hop artist, strength of catalog, and commercial impact and lasting influence. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire list, but I picked out the ones I thought was very interesting. Now, coming in at number 50. You guys want to know who Complex chose as the top 50 rapper in LA? Blueface.
All right, man. How many of you guys agree with that? I remember Tatiana. Tatiana was a bot. You know what I'm saying? It was vibey, but where does he fall in lyrically? Or longevity?
He's been doing this for a little while, hasn't he?
No, I'm talking about they mean the strength of his catalog and longevity. So I don't care how long you've been doing it, man. You could have 100 records.
I know the Tatiana. I don't like that song, and then I like the one with Coyote.
Okay, so you only can name 2.
Yeah.
There's.
I can't even name the one with Coyote. What
All
it's
right.
called? I just know it's with Coyote.
All right, let's see who else they got on here. You know what I'm saying? But lyrically, I mean, yo, there's no bars there. There's no bars. That's just charisma. You know what I mean?
That's right. This is who Complex thinks is a top 50 rapper
right.
in LA based off of his skill as a hip hop artist, you guys. Now, this one was very shameful. Number 46 is Crooked Eye. Yes, one of the top lyricists in the game. That's who these guys wanted to put at number 46.
It makes sense
Yo,
for the other categories
all right.
of
He's a
commercial.
lyrical beast.
Yes.
Crooked Eye is a lyrical beast.
Him being in the high 40s though, yeah, that's
That's crazy.
really low.
I would definitely move him. You know, like, but don't get me wrong. When you add in the other stuff of where they chart, you know, their popularity and the
Yeah,
longevity
he
of the
didn't do
music,
commercial.
his commercial success wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have a cult following with Slaughterhouse. He does have a cult following because you got the real hip hop heads that mess with.
Yes.
I mean, because lyrically, he's one of the top West Coast artists. Lyrically, commercially, no. Commercially, no. He's
he's
you know
an
what I mean?
underground. He's an underground staple and gem.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't call him underground. I would just say, you know, I mean,
He's not mainstream.
well, he did when he signed with Shady Records. He was mainstream. That's my point. Is when he was under Slaughterhouse,
Yeah.
he was mainstream. That's a major label.
Yeah.
Shady Records. You know what I mean? So, but I get what you're saying. He's more looked at as underground because he doesn't get the props that
Yes.
a lot of people feel like he
Yes.
deserves. Okay, gotcha.
Number 26, Doja Cat. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the hip hop artist Doja Cat. That was
didn't even know
definitely
she was a
sarcasm, by
hip-hop
the way.
artist.
Number 20.
All right, so number 26, Doja Cat. The only way I would say she deserved to be on this list is because of the fact that she is a artist that does chart well. She is received by the masses.
That's
I mean,
true.
lyrically, I mean, I wouldn't put her even.
She's
Shoot.
got catchy tune, like catchy.
She got catchy
stuff.
hooks,
That's it.
and that's what it is. But hey, at the end of the day, it doesn't. If we're putting lyricism in there, I wouldn't count her as a lyricist. But I would say, if she's considered a hip hop artist, she definitely
Yes.
charts well when she drops.
I did not know that, you guys.
But I can't name you a Doja Cat song. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I like the one with Tyga.
But can you name the song? You know what I mean?
No, that's what
Okay,
I'm
there
saying.
you go.
I like it
Okay.
with Tyga.
25, you guys.
Freaky.
Tyga. Listen, I rock with Tyga, and I know he has a lot
He's
of
right under
slaps,
her.
but you're
Maybe
telling
that's-
me Tyga is a better hip hop artist than Crooked Eye?
Nah, I wouldn't say lyrically he's better. I would
But
not say lyrically,
commercially,
but commercial
yes.
success, yes, he's been I mean, he's still popping to today.
Yeah, he drops and he gets
over 1 million, you know, views. So I mean, and then it charts.
Yes, it
He
does.
also charts as well. So I would say I can understand that just because
Yes.
I mean he's not really bad lyrically. He does make music that, you know, he can rap. He can rap. I mean,
like
he's not the strongest rapper, but he can rap. So
him
All right,
and
Tom.
Chris Brown. Oh,
Plex,
love
you
them.
got it, man. Number 11 is
Chris
none
Brown not
other
rap.
than The Game. And now let's get into the top 10. Number
Alright,
10,
let's
Nipsey Hussle. Number 9, Eazy-E. Number 8, Be Real. Number
Nice.
7 is Ice-T. Number 6, DJ Quick. Number 5 is Tyler. Number 4 is Dr.
Okay.
Dre. Number 3, Ice Cube. Number 2 is
Nice.
Snoop Dogg. And I'm sure most of you guys can guess number 1 is
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
I would have guessed
okay,
that.
so it's kind of funny because
like
people
the
on the
top
top of that list, Ice Cube wrote for.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. How you gonna put anybody in front of Ice Cube when he wrote their raps?
Well, he is number 3.
He was number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg and Kendrick are the only 2 above him.
All right, so Snoop makes sense. Snoop definitely
Yeah,
makes
'cause
sense.
Oh my gosh, he's the most famous rapper, like besides Eminem.
You know what I mean? It's weird because they put other people that's not from LA in there, but then they don't put Pac in there. If they're gonna put other people in there that's not from LA,
Oh,
even though Pac isn't from
yeah.
LA, he's from New York.
I mean, everybody's
If you're
always
gonna give
arguing.
everybody else, I mean, because Exhibit's not from LA.
Mm-mm.
Now, I don't know if did I read it wrong?
No, you read it right because they are on the list.
So that makes no sense. Well, maybe Pac is on this list, but he should definitely be in the top
I mean,
because I mean he wrote his own music.
if Eazy-E was up there, I mean,
Come on, guys. I mean, Eazy-E didn't write his own music.
I like Eazy.
Now, don't get me wrong. As far as sales and stuff like that, yes. But That's why I feel like people that don't write their own music should not be on the list, because without somebody writing your music, I don't care how you deliver. I don't care if if you executed the delivery perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, there's no you.
Yeah.
So I'm talking. It's trying to say complete artistry when you can't be a complete artist if you ain't writing your own shit. I'm sorry. This is hip hop. This isn't country music. This isn't jazz. This isn't none of that.
Pop.
This is hip hop. Like in the number one thing, you gotta write your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta write your own shit. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You gotta write your own shit. Well, let's keep it moving.
Let's go.
Now, after seeing this list, the game was pissed off. The game has always considered himself to be a top MC in the West Coast. Yes, number 1. Or at the very least, top 3. So obviously with Complex putting him at number 11, you guys already know the game was going to feel disrespected. And rightfully so. The game called out Complex and told him, yo, Complex, you guys are smoking that good dope. Game at 11 is nasty work. I'll bust that whole list ass. This is all the motivation I needed to finish Documentary 3. Y'all got Game fucked up. Now, let's be honest here. Game is only pissed off because Kendrick Lamar was crowned number 1. Everybody else in the top 10 is not active. They either passed away or they just don't make music anymore.
Ice Cube
does. So now.
Oh, and Snoop.
It's said of all time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if they're here or not. And if you think about it, these guys' career still lingers on. Like people still, I mean, come on, No Vaseline, all of that. Like you know what I'm saying? Eazy-E, real motherfucker G's. But see, I exclude him from the list because he doesn't write his own raps. I exclude Dre because Dre don't write his own raps.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, of top time producers of all time, yes, he gets it. But as far as artist or rapper, no, I'm sorry, because you don't write your own shit.
So that would make Game belongs in the top 8.
Yeah, Game definitely belongs in there. You know what I'm saying? But then there's some stuff with Game. All right, let's just keep going. Let me hear what you got to say before I go off, and then I, go ahead of myself, because you know how it is. I always jump ahead of myself, and then they end up talking about something, and then...
There's been a lot of tension between Game and Kendrick. Throughout his whole beef with Drake, we never saw the Game come out and support Kendrick. As a matter of fact, it was actually the opposite. And when he was asked about the reason why he was not there at the Pop-Out show, here's what the Game said.
They asked me to ask you about this whole Kendrick Lamar thing, like you being from Compton and like not being at the concert or in the video. Do you think it's because your relationship with Drake and that because you with Drake that you weren't there?
Kendrick and Drake's beef wasn't about me. It wasn't my beef. And as far as the pop out, I think that Kendrick had everything that he needed for that day to be successful. Kendrick don't need Game certification or Game to show up for nothing. Like, he doing amazing for himself. Snoop is the top of the top as far as West Coast is concerned. Snoop and Game were there when it was time to pass Kendrick the torch. People forget about that. There were artists on that stage that necessarily didn't have a stage to be on until Kendrick provided that opportunity for them, and I thought that was dope. Anytime a mother is bringing the West Coast or the West Side together, like, I support that.
And even the Joe Budden podcast has compared the Game's album to Kendrick.
Which is the better West Coast rap album? Well, just rap album. The Documentary by Game or Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick?
I think it's closer than people would like.
It's close. It's very close.
Like it's close, speak
bro.
to.
It's very close. Documentary is incredible. I don't know if I can pick one.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know how I feel about Kendrick today, but as far as just lyrically, what people are delivering on that project, Game to me is the better rapper out of those two albums.
Okay, so we're going to go lyrically. If you're going to go lyrically, that's fine, but that's not the whole picture. Now we got to look at the whole picture. There's a caveat here. Game's documentary was supported by 50 Cent features. Every song that was a commercial success was a 50 Cent feature.
Yeah.
If you think about it, everything was a 50 Cent feature.
On that, yeah.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. That's not taking nothing away from Game. Game was under the how do I say it? He was under the supervision of Dr. Dre for I think it was like 1 or 2 years, and they didn't know what to do with him until 50 Cent came along.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about it, Game might not have even ever been heard of. He might have stayed underground if 50 didn't come along and give him these features and give him these songs. You know what I'm saying? Because all of his commercial success really was built on around 50 Cent features or a feature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I mean, is he lyrical? Yes. Is he crazy? Yes. But we're also talking about, you know, their power as far as being charted and their longevity.
Yeah.
And how, you know, are they still relevant in this, that, and the third? Nobody's really looking for a game drop.
No.
I don't see the internet getting excited for a game drop.
No. It's only either his cult following or people just wanting to make fun of him.
Okay, so you got
I
those
do
two.
notice that.
So when you got Kendrick that really didn't do no features, really didn't go crazy with the features, and yeah, maybe he did, but that's not what supported that album.
No.
What supported that album was Kendrick himself.
Yes.
He didn't need somebody to step in and give him a bunch of features.
No.
What he did was, you know what I'm saying, he did it himself.
Yeah.
Where Game had the backing of a powerhouse, and he was able. They were finally able to do something after a couple of years. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Makes sense.
So I really wouldn't compare the two substantially because of the fact that Game needed that support in order to lift his, you know, to get him going, to give him that push,
Yeah.
because he wasn't getting it without him.
That's
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting it without him. So now I'm not saying Game needs anybody because he can
well,
rap.
for commercial success, yeah, he does.
Yeah, and
because-
so when we put that into the loop and we're talking about commercial, because that's part of the criteria.
Because what? I don't think any of his singles by himself were charted like that, right?
You know what I'm saying? I don't remember
so.
any. But my point is, I've only noticed all of his commercial success came through features. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the
Now-
Doctor's Advocate, he did well on that. I'm not gonna lie. That's when he was, you know, he didn't have 50 support or nothing, but it didn't do as well as the documentary.
Yeah.
Didn't do nowhere near as well as the documentary. So then again, you got Kendrick that was able to do what he does, and every time Kendrick drops,
Yep. It's always
Grammys,
charting.
charting, you know what I'm saying?
I
It
mean,
has
yeah, Good Kid, Mad City is still on the top 200.
okay. Is it
Billboard.
all right? So is the documentary still there?
No.
So how can you compare the two? Do you get what I'm trying to say? How can you now subjectively? Of course you can, because you're gonna be like, well, I like this and I preferred his bars better. Yes, that's lyrical, but now we got to look at the list as a whole.
Yes.
That's what they're saying they're basing this off of. We have to do the same. All right.
My edge would go production-wise more than rapping. It's songwriting.
If I'm just talking about listening from track one to the end, it ain't a lot of albums fucking with the documentary, bro.
Well, I'm trying not to jump in here and reignite my game beef. And I fuck with the documentary. It's a classic. Don't belong in the same sentence as Good Kid, Mad City for multiple reasons outside of music. What
Once
do
you
think?
start talking all the extras, yeah, I'm with you.
What are the extras?
Can you give me a couple of the extras?
Well, one, West Coast niggas didn't really view that album as a West Coast album because you came over here with 50 and there was the rumors of Get Rich or Die Trying, Leftovers, and blah, 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 blah.
Now, I don't want to insinuate there's any beef there. At least, not yet. But you can tell the Game definitely feels some kind of way. Mainly because he feels like, as a lyricist, he's better than Kendrick. Right now, if you're the Game, this has to be the start of the rollout for your album. If you want people to actually care to hear you rap again, in the spirit of competition, you gotta challenge the #1 person in LA. Even if you guys do not like the Game, you have to admit he's at least a top 5 LA rapper. Personally, I wouldn't put Game over Kendrick, but I know some of you guys might. And honestly, I wouldn't be too upset to see that. Complex, you guys are nasty for this list, trying to pit black men against each other. You gotta do better. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of this Complex top 50 LA rapper list? And what do you guys make of the Game's comments about the list? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.
Sir.
All right. So I mean, I think that's a stretch, pitting black men against each other when most of the
They
great
are.
rap artists are black men
Yeah.
and the West Coast. So come on, stop it. We're just going, and the fact that whether you think Game, okay, so you guys out there, whether you think Game is better than Kendrick lyrically is not the point of this list. The point of this list is
There's 3 categories.
yeah, there's 3 things that you have to hit. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I feel like if I dove deep into this list, I'd be like, okay, that makes no sense, that makes no sense, that makes no sense, right? Because I would definitely say, okay, Nipsey was dope and everything, but I would say put Game at number 10 and then Nipsey at 11. You know, even then, I mean, because Nipsey's biggest commercial album
was after he passed.
You know, and that was like, you know, albums later, because Nipsey had a lot of work. He had a body of work, but it just wasn't commercially successful. Where Kendrick, on the other hand, had a lot of commercial hits. Snoop had a lot of commercial hits. Now, I'm not going to put in Dre and I'm not going to put in Eazy-E because they didn't write their own stuff. You know, and I mean, Be Real had a lot of commercial hits, but I mean, as far as the lyricism goes, I really wouldn't put him up there either. I mean, there's other people, but as far as commercial-wise goes, of course, I mean, let's be real. Cypress Hill had a lot of commercial success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bar-wise, they were just average rappers, but good music. It was good music. We got to admit that. Game has a gripe, and everybody has a gripe, and what you just said as far as Game being there lyrically top 3, yeah, maybe lyrically, but we're not talking about lyrical. We're talking about the whole package here. We're talking the whole package here. And again, I don't know if Pac was anywhere in there, but if you're going to let other people like Exhibit and these other guys in there, then Pac's got to be named, even though he's from New York. I get it. But Pac's got to be named in there. He's got to be on there.
I mean, come on now. Everybody always cries about how he is West Coast. So
yeah. So I really believe that Complex was trying to stir the pot with this one. I don't feel like this was a genuine consensus of that reflects West Coast hip hop. I really don't.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I won't argue with the top 10. I won't. Like,
okay.
Those are all good artists. I do see what you're saying about the writing.
Yeah.
I get that.
How can you don't even check off the first box if you don't write your own stuff? So I'm sorry. I think you should. I don't like as far as a producer goes. Dre got it. Dre got it. But like I said, I mean, you got Ice Cube that had people that were in the top 10 that he wrote for them. So how does that make any sense? Exactly. They didn't even write it. They didn't. He wrote for Dre and he wrote for Easy. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, at least he's in the top 3. He's getting his credit.
Who?
Cube.
Yeah, Cube is getting it. Like and he deserves it, and it's well deserved. So I mean, some of these I don't argue with, but some of them I'm like, wait a minute. If you can't check the first box, then how could you even be in the conversation? I don't feel like you belong in the conversation. I'm sorry, it's hip hop. I think you need to write your own raps, and I don't know. What do you guys think? I believe you have to write your own raps in order to be in the conversation as far as top hip hop artists. Sorry, you have to be. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're talking about lyricism, which Chigs kept arguing and pressing that point.
Yeah.
It's lyrically. Okay, so if we talk about lyrics, if that's where you want to go with it and you upset about that, then let's talk about lyrics. You have to write your own. That being said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to comment, subscribe, thumbs up, slap that red button.
Bye.